Good morning everyone and welcome today to our new lesson about always the English sentence. This time we will try to explore a very essential part of the English sentence, which is what we call the clause. You always listen or hear this word, a clause, but you don't know exactly what it means, but what structure exactly it has. Now, simply, a clause is a group of related words which come together, but this clause, consists of, two central elements, which are the subject and the verb. So, whenever you have, within a sentence, a subject plus verb, this combination represents to us what we call a clause. Alright, but sometimes we find, a clause within a sentence, meaningful and complete in meaning by itself, and sometimes we find it only subordinate. That's why we have two types of clauses. We have already highlighted, the two main types of these clauses previously, and we said that a clause can be either which represents subject plus verb, independent. It means here it is complete by its meaning. It can be a separate sentence. Alright. You can put after it a full stop and it is complete in meaning. Like the one we have in a simple sentence. Because in English, the simple sentence itself is considered, as an independent clause. Also, we have two or more independent clauses in the second type of the English sentence, which is the compound sentence. Alright. The independent clause exists. Example, we find it in the simple sentence and also compound. Alright. And also we find it in the complex, but you have only one independent. Alright. And also in the compound complex, we have also two or more independent clauses. Alright. But on the other hand, we have a second type of so here we find it in the simple, in the compound, also in the complex sentence, but only one, and also in the compound complex, two or more. Clear, two or more. Now, the second type is called what? Dependent. Or in some books of grammar it's called subordinate. Subordinate. This one, we said, it's independent because it can stand alone. It's complete in meaning. But this one cannot stand alone. Right. Its meaning always depends on something else in the sentence. This one, we find it only in the two last types of the English sentence, because the simple sentence does not contain any dependent clause, and also the compound one does not contain any dependent clause. So what is left is only the complex and the compound complex sentences. These two types, are the types which contain, examples, of our subordinate or dependent clause. You write here, we find it in our complex sentence and also in the compound complex. Here it's matter of structure, of course, because these two types, depend on the use of both types of clauses. All right, the dependent and the dependent. What differ is only the number of each. The number of each type. Let's take an example. Today we'll first highlight and focus on the types of what? The dependent clauses. Types of the dependent clauses. All right, we have three main types. Three main types, with three main functions. So, first we write an example, our first example. Let's take a complex sentence as our example and simplify things as usual. No need to complicate things. Omar didn't go to school. Why? Because he was ill. He was sick. He was sick. This one is what? Is my first complex sentence. It contains what? An independent clause joined to another which is dependent and which starts with because or as or since. These are what? These are conjunctions of subordination. Now, in English, whenever we have what? A dependent clause which starts one of the conjunctions of subordination, whether of course, like this, or of result, like so, as that, such as that, or condition like if, and unless, or time like before, after, and so on. So whenever the dependent clause starts with one of these conjunctions or long list of conjunctions of subordination, this clause is dependent, and it's also called adverbial clause. Right, because it acts as an adverb. It acts as an adverb. Right. So here is my first type of the dependent clause. The dependent clause. Right here now. Dependent clauses. Clear? Now, let's take another example to highlight. The second type of the dependent clauses. Now we write. This is the man who helped me yesterday. Example, he carried me my bag. Yesterday. Yes, helped me yesterday. This also is another complex sentence. It is the man who helped me yesterday. I have, this is the man as my independent clause. Here also it's my independent clause. And who helped me yesterday? Who helped me yesterday is my what? Dependent clause. Now if for example Omar did not go to work, full stop. It's complete. and meaningful. That's why it is independent. But if I say, because he was sick, here there is something missing. Okay, it's incomplete. It needs completion. That's why it's called dependent. Dependent, and its function is adverbial. Okay. Second also, this is the man. Okay, here it's complete. Alright. Now, who helped me yesterday? Then what? Here, there is something missing in terms of meaning. That's why it is dependent. Now, how is this dependent clause joined to this independent one? By means of who? What's who? It's like whom, like that, like which. Alright. All these are called what? Relative pronouns. Or also adverbs like when and where. Okay. Like when and where. And of course, as you know, these relative pronoun adverbs, they always what? Describe and modify what? A noun that comes directly before them. Before them. Alright. Now this clause, which starts with the relative pronoun or adverb, is called in English or in grammar a relative clause. And as it describes the noun before it and modifies it, it has the function of an adjective, and it's called an adjective clause. So it is dependent clause or subordinate. Also, it is relative. All right, clause because it starts with relative pronoun, and also okay, it is named after its function, as it is related to a noun. Of course, which in English, okay, we use adjectives to modify, describe the noun. So here it acts as an adjective, okay, for this noun. So it's called adjective clause. Alright, so here we have two types of dependent clauses with their markers. The marker for the adverbial clause is conjunction of subordination. Now, the markers of the adjective clause is always relative pronouns or adverbs. Who, which, that, whom. Okay, whenever we have one of these, okay, coming after a noun to modify, it's called an adjective clause. Alright, let's take our third example. I can't write. Example. Know or understand. Alright. Or I don't know is better. I don't know. Five things. Don't want to use the Adverbial Clause from the beginning. I don't know that, or if, and whether, or why, or how, he will come. How he will come. How he will come. I don't know. I have my subject. Don't know is my verb. I don't know what. I don't know that he will come. Okay, if he will come. Right, whether he will come. So, this clause, which consists of, okay, that, or if, or whether, or why, or how, or any other WH word, okay, and acts as the answer of what? It means as my direct object, okay, and you know that always in English, the objects, okay, are nouns, okay, usually they are nouns. The verbs usually are nouns. So this one, as it acts as the direct object for the whole sentence, right? And as it starts with one of these markers, that if for now, okay, this clause is my dependent clause, and it is called a noun clause. It's called a noun clause. Noun clause is the clause which starts with, is a dependent clause which starts with one of these markers, usually that, if, whether, and so on, and it acts either as a direct object or even as a subject. Clear? As a subject. Now here, of course, we said previously that, okay, the whole sentence represents my independent clause, subject, verb, direct object. All of it is considered as my independent clause. And this one, in particular, is my dependent clause, which acts as direct object. So it is a noun clause, which starts with one of these markers. So here are the three main types or functions of the dependent clause. It can be adverbial when it starts with one of these conjunction of subordination, or adjective clause if it starts with one of these relative pronouns or adverbs. Also, it can be noun clause if it starts with one of these starters or markers of the noun clause. Okay, and we find this type of clauses or these types in both, in the complex as well as the compound complex sentences. Only we'd like to add an example, okay, to show how noun clause can be a subject. For example, I write here. That he is absent. That he is absent. Now the teacher is absent. Makes me happy. Makes me happy. Now, I have the verb makes. Okay, makes what? Or makes whom? Makes me. So whom? Me is my direct object as a person. Okay. Happy is my adjective. Now this verb needs what? It needs a subject. So all this clause which starts with that, which is one of the markers, the noun clause, acts as my subject. So as it is a subject, and as it starts with that noun clause, this clause is my noun clause. My noun clause, which acts here only as a subject. Only as a subject. And here we are now with the three types with the different cases. Okay, within either the complex or even inside the compound complex sentence also. Thank you so much. Still, we have some remarks about different types of these dependent clauses. Let's start with the first type, which is the adverbial clause. Now, this clause starts with what? A conjunction of subordination, as you see here. Now, when this conjunction is in the middle, of the sentence, we don't put before it any punctuation mark. Clear? Now, in case the sentence starts with this dependent clause, and we write, because he was sick, for instance, we write here, Because he was sick. Here, whenever I start my sentence with an adverbial clause, okay, which starts with one of the conjunctions of subordination, I must always, okay, separate this dependent clause, okay, from the other one by a comma. Okay, he was sick. He didn't go to school. Alright. Likewise, when I say, if you work hard, comma, you will succeed. But if this if is in the middle, okay, you will succeed if you work hard. Here, when the conjunction of subordination is in the middle of the sentence, clear, we don't put before it any punctuation mark. Alright, this is our first remark. The second remark now concerns, we said that these elements, okay, or join elements, they join what? Two clauses. It means usually we find before them and after them subject plus verb and subject plus verb. Here also subject plus verb, and here also subject plus verb. Let's go to our first example and we write he didn't go to school because he was what? Sick. Now these connecting or coordination elements join the two clauses, one dependent to another which is independent, should be preceded and followed usually by always S plus V. S plus V. Here also S plus V. So consider that, okay, both clauses. Here also I have this subject is my verb. Here also we need to adjust this example and write who is the man, okay, whom or that I met yesterday. Right, man who I met yesterday. So here is my adjective clause. Okay, clause. S plus V before the relative pronoun whom, and also after it I have S plus V usually. Clear, usually. Here also I don't know S plus don't know verb V. Okay, and after the start of the marker of also the noun clause I have a subject plus a verb. Clear, a subject plus a verb. This is the way how, okay, we consider them joining two clauses. Okay, two clauses. Now, third remark also concerns the adjective clause. We said that this relative pronoun, right, here it acts as what? As an object whom I met yesterday. Clear. And it's followed by a subject and verb, like the others. Alright. And whom refers to the noun before it, as usual. Now, but if the relative pronoun here in the adjective clause acts as subject, okay, as subject. Example, I write, this is the man who helped me. Here, who is going to be what? My subject. and also my join elements or my marker of adjective clause. And helps is my verb. Clear? This is the house, or for example, this is the noun. The man, okay, that showed me. That showed me. That is relative pronoun, and also subject. Showed is my verb. Okay, but when the relative pronouns act as not as a subject but as usually object, here I find also after them as plus V. So this is usual structure. Okay, usual structure. Here also concerning some confusing elements which may exist, okay, as a marker for different types of dependent clauses. For example, I have here that. That can be either what? A relative pronoun and also a marker of the noun clause. Now what makes the difference here is simply what? The preceding elements. Example here, that of the relative pronoun. It is always preceded by a noun. It refers to the man that, the person that. Clear? Alright. The car that. Huh? But here, look here, of the noun clause. It is not, okay, preceded by any noun. Alright. So here, either it comes after a verb, but not a noun, or it comes even at the beginning here, like here, at the beginning. Alright. So, in both cases, it is a marker of the noun clause. When it refers to a noun before it directly, it is a relative pronoun. Clear? Also, we have if of the condition. Here, if of the noun clause does not indicate condition. Right. I don't know if he will come. Here it expresses only a kind of doubt, uncertainty. Clear? But when we say, if you work hard, you succeed. Here we have a condition. So if here, okay, one expressing condition is a conjunction of subordination. And it forms to me, what? An adverbial clause. Clear? When it's only of doubt and uncertainty, it forms to me a noun clause. Alright. Also for the when it can be a relative, okay, adverb. This is Ramadan, when Muslims fast. I like the holiday when people go to the beach. So, Ramadan, when. Holiday, when. The day, when. The month, when. 1991, when. So, as you see here, when is preceded or comes after a noun of time. Clear? Noun of time. Here it is a relative adverb. And it forms to me what? An adjective clause. Clear? But when I say, for example, when I grow up, I will be a doctor. Or I will be a doctor when I grow up. I will be a doctor when. Now here we have a noun before when. But this noun, does it indicate time? Or it's only a common noun? It is a common noun which does not indicate any, okay, notion of time. That's why here when is a conjunction of subordination. Only when you have a noun of time before it, like month, day, and so on, here is going to be a relative adverb. Clear? A relative adverb. Also, another remark concerning, okay, these three types of dependent clauses. As you see here, that all of them start with these markers. They are the first elements in them. One. Any adverbial clause starts with a conjunction of subordination. And any adjective clause starts with a relative pronoun or adverb. And a noun clause starts with one of these markers of the noun clause. Okay, so these are my clues, okay, to form and discover, okay, each type of these dependent clauses. Alright, good. Now we'll try to recapitulate and summarize the different structures of each type of these clauses, which are dependent. Together, and we write as a subtitle for this, okay, little lesson, types of dependent or subordinate also clauses. Number one, the adverbial clause equals what? Usually starts with a conjunction of subordination followed always by S plus V. Clear? S plus V. Of time, of course, of concession, of result, and so on. Now here the list is open. It's up to you to solve the net and to collect the whole list of these conjunctions. Clear? Also, number two, the adjective clause starts usually with the relative pronoun or adverb. Pronoun like what? Like who, subject, okay, for persons. Who, subject, or sorry, object for persons. Whose, people's possessions. Who, also which, for things. And that, for both persons or things. Clear? Persons or things. And lots of adverbs we have, usually when and where. And all of them, okay, should be preceded by a noun, okay, because the adjective clause, what? It modifies and describes a noun before it directly, okay, before it directly. Here also we said plus, after them we find usually subject plus verb, except with the who, that, and which, when they become or they act as subjects, okay, here the who is subject or that is subject or which is subject, okay, after it find only a verb, clear? Good. Third case is, or type is, the noun clause. Noun clause, which starts either with that, which is not, okay, preceded by a noun, but either a verb or it comes at the beginning of sentence. Also, if not of the condition, but of doubt or certainty. Also, whether, the same meaning of if, and WH words. Why, when, what, how, and so on. And so on. Or, of course, always when they come, okay, as a direct object for the answer of what, or as subject for the answer of who or what also. Clear? Always followed by subject plus verb. Subject plus verb. And here is, okay, simply the three structures, okay, of my types of dependent clauses, detailed, okay, and written on the board. So, thank you so much, and I hope that you have come up with at least, okay, an idea about, okay, the essential information about these clauses and also certain remarks and exceptions as concerned them. Thank you so much.